Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where today we are going to be recapping the price action from Friday, April 24th, where I took a small half an hour loss. And jumping straight into it from the daily chart, we can see that we have a C2 closure on the daily from Thursday. And overall, we are still bullish to the upside. And we have SMT like this, where you can see that YM stopped into this low right here while NQ didn't, so we have SMT pointing in the upwards direction. The only thing that kind of messed with my bias today was this 7-hour profiling, where you can see that we didn't really form the low of day from anything of true significance, and you can see that we have a no wick candle on this 7-hour 1800 candle, and because of that, jumping straight to 930. So 930 was here, and I was waiting to see if YM could go back below these lows and then reverse, or NQ go back and maybe switch strengths with YM, and we could go back to this high, since NQ was obviously much higher than that, so we could trade the weaker asset with a strength switch up until here. But what was my trade? Well, on the 3-minute chart, we can see that we had a lot of resting liquidity here. But what I've seen is that we started to switch strengths to the downside with Dow, where you can see that we have SMT with the 930 candle with these highs here. So we had SMT pointing like this in the downwards direction. And as I've seen YM put in this very large candle closing below all of these up close candles, and we then created a fair value gap, and it was coupled with these fair value gaps here. Basically, we had a BPR, and I went onto YM and took a short like this with my stop basically above this last two up close candles before this huge dump. And I was looking to see NQ go back to that daily open price to see the wick form, and maybe to see the wick be left behind like this, and then trade the body to the downside to fill in this gap and maybe lower. But as you can see, we have just been grinding the whole day. I held this from 9:33 up until the close. I managed to avoid the full stop out by 1 point. As you can see, the high was 467 and my stop was at 468. That was just lucky on my part. But overall, I think this was a pretty bad day. This was just news. This was news again, and we had some more news pushing price to the upside. How could I have traded maybe NQ to the upside? I've seen this like here. I've seen this setup, but I wasn't really looking forward to it. Yes, we had SMT like this, pointing in the upwards direction. We had the first CSD here. If we look on the 1-hour chart, we were inside bullish fair value gap, and then we had this PSP and SMT between these two consecutive candles. So technically this is a two-stage tracking correlation to go to the upside. But if you look on a 5-minute chart or below, we were just grinding up. I didn't see any setup to take, just getting maybe getting stopped break even on YM and then looking for a trade on NQ, but I didn't really see anything fit. Let me check on 1-minute chart. We got a small imbalance here that got closed over. Maybe this, I don't know. let me check on the 15 minutes. So on the 15 minute we have this. We have this PSP. Technically this, like this, and at 10:15, which would be around here. So at 10:15, you would just be pushing down. Technically, yes. You actually could have traded this with your stop low and target 2R. Yeah, that could have actually been a good trade, given that we have a two-stage like this, with actually this low, and then we have one more like this. But yeah, we have two-stage on the 15-minute chart. We are inside a 1 hour gap. We are technically still bullish, even though I said I probably wanted to see 1800 get tagged on NQ because we had also this small gap. But yeah, you probably could have taken this. With this inversion, we closed above it. We also have a bullish order block sitting right here. Yeah, we also have we technically have a strength switch PSP with this more bearish asset, putting in a bullish divergence here while NQ was going down. Yeah, I think you probably could have taken this to this high and more if you wanted to leave runners. But yeah, this was probably the only trade you could have taken. Next was basically just chop. So yeah, this is gonna be it. This wasn't really my greatest week. I think I'm down like 2R overall. Still green like half an hour overall. But yeah, wasn't the greatest performance. I think I'll just I'll upload a backtesting session coming up this weekend, and I don't know. I'll just rewatch my own videos and pick out some mistakes that I made. Yep. If you enjoyed this type of content, please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.